Hello everyone, my name is Mr. Chris, and I am a 4-H educator at the Indian River Intermediate School through Cornell Cooperative Extension of Jefferson County. Are you a member of 4-H? If you are, then great. We can't wait to see you when school starts back up. If you're not, then visit us on the internet at www.4-h.org or the link below to find out more about our exciting program. All right, everybody, let's get started. Welcome to Coding Corner. So since the first modern computer was created in 1946, it was called the ENIAC, the Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer, the world has never stopped coding and finding new uses for computers. Almost everything that is powered with electricity needs to be coded. So let's talk about what coding is first of all. In simple terms, coding is the process of designing and building, in most cases from nothing, a working computer program, which could be an app, a game, or software for your computer or other electronic device. The first computer language was created in the 1950s. It was called Fortran. I know you have heard of other programming languages like C++ and Java. There are more than 700 programming languages for computers to do a variety of tasks. Some of the languages will only work to build websites, where some others work better for making an app. There are actually languages that are just used to program robots. They can be from very basic to very complex. We're going to use a blocky or block-based program language called Scratch. Scratch, you will see later in this episode, is a great way to do coding, especially unplugged. If you look behind me, you'll see what appears to be a bunch of random words. That is actually one of the languages of computer programming known as code. Am I going to ask you to write this code today? I wouldn't ask you to write this code today any more than I would ask you to write, say, Mandarin Chinese the first day. Mandarin Chinese is the most popular language in the world. Almost 1 billion people speak it. In comparison, there are about 320 million people in the United States. So if 1 billion people can learn to read and write this, then I know we can learn coding. So Steve Jobs, who is one of the co-inventors of Apple, he once said everybody in this country should learn how to program a computer because it teaches you to think. He's right. It teaches you problem solving and critical thinking. Great tools to have in your toolbox. To be able to communicate with a computer has to be the closest thing to a superpower there is. It empowers you by giving you tools to express yourself. Is it hard to learn? Not any harder than any other language. It's not magical. It's not complicated. It's coding. So how do we start? We start with learning that computer code is binary. What does that mean? The definition of binary is relating to, composed of, or involving two things. So your bicycle has two tires, therefore it is a binary wheeled vehicle. Encoding those two things are ones and zeros. The ones and zeros represent the flow of information as either on or off. Have you ever looked at an on-off switch like this type and noticed that there's a 1 and a 0 on it? When it's in the 1 position, the power is on, and when it's in the 0 position, it shuts off. That on-off switch encoding is called a bit. A bit is the smallest level of a computer program. Let me relate that to you. Your body's made up of many things, but at its smallest part is the atom. Atoms are the building blocks of everything. Just as a bit is the building block for coding. Will you be working with binary code? More than likely not. We don't work on the human body generally at the level of the atom either. So it takes 8 bits or switches to make 1 byte. 1 byte is required to make 1 character. 1 character would be a letter or a number. Computers are about as intelligent as a rock until a programmer, maybe like you someday, enters in the coding. Let's take a look at the bytes that correspond to each letter. Okay, so here's the binary code. As you can see, it has our 8 bits that make up our byte. And our byte corresponds to a letter, right? So I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this, but I do want you to realize that at its smallest level of a computer program, it's a 1 and a 0. I have a couple activities that I'd like to show you. One is right behind me. I've already started it. It's my name. So I've started coding my name in binary. I've got the first 4 letters. Let's do the 5th one together. The 5th one is the S. So let's look over here. An S. Here is the binary code. So it says it should be a black and a white. A black and a white. And then a black and a white again. A black and a white again. And then 2 blacks and 2 whites. That is my name in binary code. I bet you could make your name in binary code, couldn't you? Another activity I have is a binary bracelet. It's a strip of paper with the binary code of your name on it. I bet your family or friends wouldn't be able to tell what it says. To find the binary alphabet, you can go online at www.code.org, where you'll find the alphabet, more information on the binary bracelet, coding games and resources to help you have fun while learning coding. The other activity I really think is fun is binary beads. It's a binary bead necklace. It's kind of cool, right? You just need a piece of paracord, at least 2 different color beads. 3 is preferred. As you can see on mine, I used the red one to separate in between the different letters or different bytes of information. So the paracord's just knotted, but it's definitely a fun activity. So let's learn a little bit more about coding, shall we? So I know what you're thinking, Mr. Chris, how can I ever learn coding? There's just so much to learn here. It takes 1 step at a time. We're going to start our first step with learning how to fold this origami bow. You're going to need a sheet of paper, just a standard sheet. It can be printed paper, line paper, or construction paper. Mine happens to be printed mistakes out of my printer. I'm recycling. So grab your sheet of paper and we're going to fold this up. All right, so we got our paper. Step 1 is to fold it in half on the length. Line the corners up nice before you crease it down, because as with everything, it's important to do your best. All right, now we're going to fold it in half again on the length. That is step 2. Step 3 is to unfold step 2. This is what you have. So you're going to, now step 4 would be to face the opening towards you. This is the opening. So you would face that towards you. In my case, I'm going to hold it towards you for demonstration purposes. So step 5 would be to fold one corner down, and it really doesn't matter which corner you fold down, so we're going to do them both anyways. Fold that down and crease it. Step 6 is do the same thing to the other side. So you should have this kind of look. Now, step 7, we're going to take half that flap we had at the bottom and fold it towards you. Step 7, we fold that. Now, step 8, we're going to fold in the corner. Step 9 is we're going to fold this corner in. See what we got going on there? Okay. Fold that up, fold the corners. Okay. Step 10, the other side, we're going to guess what? We're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to fold it up, crease it, fold those corners over. So now, if you wanted to stop right now, it would be okay because you'd have an excellent party hat. But if you'd like to continue with the boat, you do an odd action. I don't know what to call this. So this is what we have. We open it this way and fold it in half. See how that is? Call that a bird's mouth fold, I guess, and crease it. So that's step 13. Step 14 is, you see how it folds in the bird's mouth? You're going to fold 1/2 of that bird's mouth down. See that? 1/2 down. And guess what? You're going to do the same thing to the other side. Fold 1/2 down. Excellent. So, do you remember that bird's mouth fold we just did? You got 2 choices again. You can stay with the party hat, because it is a little small party hat. Or you can do that bird's mouth fold. Okay. Do the bird's mouth fold and crease. Now, this here is where the magic happens, because we start, oh, this is number 17, by the way, step 17. See how we bird's mouth folded that together, right? So you have to flip it over and open up just like so. And leave you with a poke. Amazing, right? 17 steps is all it took to make that origami bowl. Now you can race it with your friends, or you can decorate it with your parents. Do whatever you want to do with it. All right, so how does that relate to coding? Let's see. Behind me, you'll see all the steps that it took to make this origami bowl. As you see, there are 17 items in the list of directions. In programming or coding, we call this list of directions an algorithm. An algorithm is a list of steps or commands that you take in order to complete a task. So it's a fancy name for directions. So this is an algorithm to make this origami bowl. Each individual step would be a command. So there are 17 commands in our algorithm to make the program for our bowl. Are there other algorithms that you can think of in your life? How about something as simple as washing your hands, right? You turn on the water, you adjust the temperature, you get your hands wet, you get the soap, you lather up, you put the soap back, you scrub your hands for 20 seconds, you rinse your hands, you turn off the water, and you dry your hands. Is that an algorithm? It's a list of directions, right? Then it absolutely is an algorithm. So we have learned that our lives are filled with algorithms. But sometimes in our life, we have a problem with our algorithm or our list of steps that we take in order to complete a task. Let's take, for example, a sample of a morning algorithm. You wake up, you get out of bed, you put your shoes on, you walk down the hall, you go to the bathroom, and you wash your hands for a full 20 seconds. You dry your hands, you walk down the hall to the kitchen, and you make breakfast. This algorithm works great. But let's say you forget something one morning. You wake up, you get out of bed, you walk down the hall, you go to the bathroom, you wash your hands for a full 20 seconds. You dry your hands, you walk down the hall, you step on a Lego on the way to the kitchen to make your breakfast. Ouch! What happened? There was a problem with your algorithm. In coding, we call this a bug. A bug is an error or a flaw in a computer program that causes it to produce an unexpected or incorrect result. But why do they call it a bug? In 1947, the world's first computer bug was recorded. This was no ordinary software bug. It was a real-life moth causing a problem with the computer's hardware by scientist Grace Hopper. In order to fix the problem in our morning program, we must debug our algorithm, which is to identify and remove errors from the computer hardware or software. The bug is causing the program to run incorrectly. The problem in this situation is we missed step 3. Step 3 was to put our shoes on. If we would have put our shoes on, our morning program would not have ended in pain of stepping on a Lego with no shoes. So if we put our shoes on at step 3, that would fix our program, wouldn't it? Algorithm debugged. Okay, behind me you'll see our coding grid. Imagine that this grid is your computer screen. We'll run scenarios on the grid. For instance, our goal right now is to get our B from where he is in this corner to the horizontal opposite side of the grid and shade every other square using 8 or less of our command blocks. We do this with block coding. We need to tell the computer every step or command it needs to take in our algorithm. Here are our coding blocks. Our coding blocks are all single action. In other words, if I place a move forward block on the run side, it moves 1 block per command. Remember, computers need every little detail and step. To design our algorithm, we take 1 command block from our list and move it over to the run program side. So what's the first command block we need in order to finish our program? Okay, so let's get coding. Our first step is going to be, let's move forward over here into the run position. So we want that B to move forward. The next thing he has to do is he has to shade that block, doesn't he? So he moved forward, he shade that block. Now it's every other one needs to be shaded. So we move forward, shade the block. Move forward, shade the block. Okay, so we have move forward, shade the block, move forward, shade the block. Then we have to do the same thing, don't we? You see a pattern showing up there at all? So what we have now is move forward, shade the box. Move forward, shade the box. Move forward, shade the box. What do you suppose the next thing we're going to do is? Move forward, shade the box. Just wrote our first algorithm. Let's see if it's right. Okay, so we decide to run our program. We tell our B to go, and it says, move forward, shade box. Move forward, shade box. Wait a second, what's going on? I didn't tell him to move down. Okay, like I said, computers are very literal, and when you tell something to move forward, the direction it is facing is where it's going to move. So that B was not facing in the direction we needed to travel, was it? So we have to tell that B to turn before we can move. So you need to put yourself in the position as that B. Would he turn left or would he turn right? He turned left, wouldn't he? He turned left. So our very first coding block we need is turn left. Turn left, there it is. So there, we had a bug in our algorithm. We just fixed our first bug. Awesome, right? Let's see if it worked. Okay, so we reset it back to the beginning. Here we go. Turn left. Move forward. Shade box. Move forward, shade box. Move forward, shade box. And move forward, shade box. Is it correct? It's 100% correct, isn't it? But the problem is, it didn't fall within our guidelines. How many blocks did we use? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 blocks. How many were we supposed to use? 8. So how are we going to change it from 12 blocks to 8? I think I have an idea that might help. Okay, so it runs, but we're only supposed to use 8 blocks. How can we use less? How about a loop block? A loop or a repeat block can be used to repeat a pattern. Computers love to run loops. They can run 1 billion loops and are still not even getting warmed up. So what is a loop? A loop is a set of instruction that repeats until you get the desired results. In other words, if I put my move forward inside of my loop with the number 5 in here, it would repeat this move forward 5 times. So in order for me to program with our blocks, I would need to use 5 move forward blocks over here versus a loop and the move forward and a 5, which is 2 blocks. So it'll save you a lot of space and a lot of time. So over here, do we have anything that we notice that repeats? So we were talking about this a little bit. I was noticing a pattern repeating. It was that shade box, move forward, wasn't it? Shade box, move forward, shade box, move forward, shade box, move forward. It's that repeating. And how many times? Let's find out. So we know that we can take most of this off. Start from the beginning. So we know we have to turn left. We remember that. So we're definitely turning left. We're definitely moving forward. Now we can probably put our loop at this point in place and place the shade box inside it, which you're supposed to shade that box. And then we move 1, 2, right? Then we move 2 forward. So let's put 2 move forward inside our loop. Okay, so how many times do we need to repeat that loop? So let's see, it goes, you're going to turn him left, move forward, and then we're going to shade box, move forward, shade box, move forward, shade box, move forward. So that's 3 times, isn't it? So let's put a 3 in our loop. Let's execute our program and see if it's correct. So first thing it says is turn left. Then it says move forward. Then we're going to shade the box, move forward. That's once. Now we're going to shade the box, move forward. That's 2. Now we're going to shade the box, move forward. That's 3. But look underneath our B, it's not shaded. So we have to place 1 more shade box at the end. So again, there was a bug in our program and we just debugged it again. All right, so let's run our program again and see if it's correct. Okay, so turn left, move forward, and then we're going to shade box, move forward, then back to the beginning, shade box, move forward, then we're going to shade box, and then we're going to move forward, and then the last one is shade box, and it's complete. So that is your first program. That is your first algorithm that you wrote, debugged, and you use loops. Good job. So let's try one just a little bit harder. Our next activity is hopscotch coding. What is that? Well, it's a simple game of hopscotch that we're going to code an algorithm for our movements. This is a great game to play outside with your friends or family. All you need is a piece of chalk, a pad of paper, and a pencil or pen to write down your commands. See who can come up with the best algorithm. Maybe you will come up with your own commands or throw in some loops. You can make a fun game of it and see who comes up with the most complicated algorithm. Here I have a sample set. I have a turnaround. I have a left foot. I have a right foot. I have a both foot forward, and I have a 1 foot forward. I made a sample algorithm for our program. So imagine this is your hopscotch that you draw in your driveway or in the park, wherever you can play hopscotch. So if we drew up an algorithm such as this on your pen and paper, we could have your left foot forward or left foot and hop forward. This is move 2 foot forward. So here we are right here. So we're left foot, ready? We are left foot hop, 2 foot hop, right foot hop, left foot hop, then we're right foot hop, and then we're 2 foot hop, and then we're turn around 2 feet, and then we're turn around 2 feet, and then we're right foot hop, and then a right foot hop. That's it. So you can make up your own algorithm for this, couldn't you? Could be a really fun game. Try it out. Okay, so this scenario is a little bit different. We got a fisherman up here who needs to get all the way over here to pick up his fish. We're going to use the pickup command block, and we have to do this in less than 8 blocks again. So how are we going to do it? First, we're going to start out with figuring which direction our fisherman is headed. It looks like he's headed in the correct direction, so we don't have to use a turn command block. So how many spots does he need to move? Let's find out. 1, 2, 3, 4. I move 5. So should we use 5 move forward? No, we should use a loop, right? We're going to need the loop. And as we said, we're going to move 5 blocks forward, so we're going to use a 5. So we place our loop, our move forward, our end of loop, and a number 5. So let's see how we get here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the boat is facing the rock. We don't want to crash into the rock. So we want to turn which direction? Pretend you're in the boat again. We're going to turn to the right. That's right. Now we've turned to the right. Now the fish is here. So we need to move forward 1, 2. So should we use a loop? In this case, it really doesn't matter because the loop takes up just as much space as using two move forwards. Okay, so now we're here. Now again, which direction are we in the boat? We need to turn left to face that fish, right? So we need a turn left. Can we pick up the fish? No, we're not in the same square, so we have to move forward. And then we're on top of the fish, or we should be. Then we can pick them up. Okay. So here's our algorithm. Do you think it's right? Okay, let's see if our algorithm is right. So we move our fisherman forward 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The loop ends. Then it says turn right. Then it says move forward, turn left, move forward, pick up the fish. It's exactly correct. Now, let's see, how many blocks did we use? So the loop is 1, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We did it in exactly 8. Great job. Okay, so we have learned a lot today. We now know a computer program at its lowest level is a 1 or a 0, and it's called a binary language. We learned that algorithms are used in coding as well as our everyday life. And we learned how to write our first 2 computer codes together. And we also learned what a bug is in a computer program and how to debug it. If you think coding sounds interesting, then come and check out all the opportunities 4-H has for you. Visit us at 4-H.org or the link below. If you are able to access the internet and think coding sounds fun, then go to www.code.org to work with more of the block style of programming. The block style was invented by MIT and it's called Scratch. They also have a great online platform. Visit them at www.scratch.mit.edu. I hope you had fun and keep learning.